You guys asked for it, so I wanted to give it to you. The Andre August breakdown. He'll be fighting Jake Paul on December 15th, and I figured, why not get into it, right? It's an interesting fight. So in watching the 8 minutes of available footage there seems to be across, 10 different fights of Andre August, I wasn't able to glean much. I hate to sound rude, but I don't see a lot in his game. Now, granted, I understand that in the combat sports analysis world, I'm just starting out, but even so, I feel like it shouldn't be easy for me to break down your game from watching 5 minutes of footage. And with Andre August, it kind of felt like you see him once, you can kind of get a good idea for what he fights like all the time type of vibe. And I really was personally disappointed with what I saw. It's not like he's a bad boxer, because he's had tons of fights under his belt. He looks pretty smooth in what he throws and how he throws it. It looks like his shot selection is pretty good. Most of all, it does look like he has power. But to be honest, I noticed a lot of the same things that plagued Jake's past opponents. The only difference with Andre being that, of course, he is a real boxer, so he is going to be more technically proficient than an MMA guy like a Tyron Woodley, like an Anderson Silva. This is the best pure boxer that Jake will have ever gone against in his career outside of the sparring room. So we'll get into that in a little bit, into how I think stylistically this fight's going to go down. But for now, I can tell you this about Andre August. He's similar to Jake's past opponents in that it looks like sometimes movement-wise with his footwork, he can kind of get clogged up easily. There's this one clip where he comes over the top with that check hook, that check lead hook, and he whips it out there, right? And he knocks his opponent down and out, and that's the fight. Before that, he throws a jab, and he steps into pretty much this range with the guy. And the guy in accordance feints across over the top. And what I see from Andre, and I don't think I could show this on camera, but picture this, but down near his hip. This is where his head was when the guy feinted with a shot. And I don't need to tell you boxing, like, you don't have to understand boxing to know that if you leave your head down here, over here, that's never a good thing, right? You want to keep things as tight as possible, right? You want to kind of be moving your head. August, I noticed, was, again, all the way down here. And that's certainly not helping him, right? Because if I'm his opponent, I'm taking a big step back, I'm feinting across, and as soon as August commits too far to one side, what? I didn't turn my hook over well there, but what? I'm coming down with a huge hook. I just feel like, especially against a guy like Jake that does have power and does take the sport seriously. If you're August and you're a stationary target, right? And you come into range with Jake and you're taking a picture with your combination and you're moving your head down here, that's easy money for Jake. And with that, I want to get into how Jake is training for this fight. I noticed in a lot of the training footage that he himself put out, this is very recently as of the recording of this video, Jake's practicing a lot of explosive movements. He's getting his muscle groups prepared for that. He has a weight-restricted jab. I forget what the name of the exercise is called, but you keep your hand tightly pulled on a rope and pulley system, and he's focused on throwing that jab and making sure his entire body. That was the main overarching theme that I saw with a lot of his workouts, is transferring power from his whole body into one big shot, whether that be the jab or another weapon. Jake's team also put a lot of importance on him staying behind the jab. They said, listen, if August isn't going to respect and open up when you feint, you're going to have the jab there all day and he's going to walk into a big shot. I'm no betting man, but bet the house on the fact that Jake's team is banking off of Andre August walking into a big shot and getting knocked out. I don't know. I want to give Jake as much credit as possible. I think he's one of the only influencers now that really takes boxing seriously to a different level. But every single time he does fight, there is a slight feeling that his opponents are there to be hit, or they keep their hands down, or it's something that allows Jake to kind of, I don't want to say look better than he is, but make it competitive. And I sympathize with Jake, right? Like, you want to give yourself a challenge, but you also have to put on a fight that's entertaining for fans to watch. This fight, he literally did no lead up, no press build up for. So he has to bank on this fight being interesting, because if this fight isn't interesting, he pretty much goes off the map. That's it. His goose is cooked. But again, at the same time, I just wish we'd see a different quality of opponent. Maybe a guy that's faster. Maybe a guy that's not there to be hit when he leaves the pocket. I hope that we see Jake level up and make this an exciting fight so he can continue his career, because I genuinely do think the boxing world is better when Jake Paul is in it. I think a lot of guys would disagree with me, and a lot of the OG gatekeepers of the sport would absolutely lambaste me for having an opinion like that, but I think it's true, man. I think he makes the sport fun. I think he makes it exciting. I think he fills it with controversy, and while some of that is and can be a bad thing, man, the net positive is the big picture you got to look at. He adds so much to the sport. For my official prediction, I would say maybe a 4th or 5th round knockout for Jake Paul. I could see him kind of feeling Andre August out. August has some power. Maybe he tags Jake, but I just see Jake Paul getting it done via knockout. Do let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. It's been your boy, of course, as always, the combat consultant, the soundboard god, and I'll see you in the next one.